for our acts. The sea can be deep for our diving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
They're ducking Friday. Stole it from Amber. I love it coming on here, and there's already chat before the theme song is done and stuff. So, good stuff. God, I tell you right now, I don't like my hair. I want to shave it off. I'm not going to. I'm going to let it grow a little bit further. Right now, it just looks, I don't know. Getting that Mr. Incredible look going on. I get some gray, especially on this side. I'm not Mr. Fantastic, though. Although I do like my superheroes. He's one of my favorites right here. Punisher. He's an anti-hero. Kind of kills too many people for me, but oh, the Chiefs are 4-point favorites over the Broncos this weekend, and I don't disagree. I love my Broncos. Oh, I'll be praying. It could go either way. We'll see. Good morning, Angel. Good to see you. We have a lot of different we have Bronco fans and Chief fans here, so yeah, it tends to get brought up. All right. So here we are. Yesterday, I get a phone call from Fourth Dimension. Yeah, I absolutely will do that. All right. So I was able to help him. I sent him over to East Metro. I'm like, how'd it go? She said she needed to go to the emergency room because she needed to get medically cleared. And I said, that's weird. They should be doing that part. I'm going to talk to the director. She said, yeah, I called them twice, and you can let the director know the staff there need to be trauma informed and get the annoyance out of their voice when, bullshit. I will take care of that. I'm going to call them myself and say, when I send people over to you, you better put that nicey nice voice on, motherfuckers. All right. I was avoiding saying that word. Thanks for putting it in my head, Amber. Thanks. Amber's going to go do a photo shoot. She's going up to the, I'm telling this so that there's proof. She's been trying to get some pictures done in a cemetery. They're being jerks about it. Right. Like, you need to have this, you need it. So there's a place here in Colorado where, there's an old cemetery. If you're from Colorado, you'll know where it is, but I'm not going to, so good job, Amber. Way to fight the system. Hey, every now and then, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? Amber says you're welcome. All right. Yeah, that upsets me that they have a bad attitude. Oh, I most certainly will. In fact, I'm going to have to call this lady, Kristen, and say, I'm sorry that happened. Yeah, they got to have a better attitude. But what does that tell me? What does it tell me? It tells me they hate their fucking job. That's what it tells me. I told you we got to fix it. We got to fix it. It isn't just about getting people that are recovered in there. It's about making it so that the people can do their job. Okay. But detox is supposed to be where you get somebody stabilized. That is the whole point of detox. That's why I sent her there. They needed to take her to the hospital. That was their job to do. Okay. So I'm not going to be following up with the director of I'm not going to be following up with the director of detox yet. I'm going to get ahead. I'm going to get a hold of the executive director of Aurora Mental Health. I'm going to go straight to Kathy. I'm going to go to the boss, the person that makes all the decisions. That's who I'm going to write. And it's not going to be mean. It's just going to say, see, actually, I'll write all three of them. I'll write crisis, detox, and head of Aurora Mental Health. And I'll get some conversation out of it. You watch. But now here, this is not a problem. This is an opportunity for us to do better. For us to do better. Because see, I called and asked them, hey, do you guys it was a week before. It was last week, the week before, right? And I asked them a question, where do I take a 16-year-old for detox? And they didn't have the answer. And they're like, we're going to find out and I'll call you right back. They never called me back. In fact, it was 40 minutes later, I called them back with the right answer. So see, and even then I called them, and then they did call me after about an hour and a half. And she's like, we didn't know what to do. And I said, well, I called back with the answer and told you guys. So what does that mean? That means that there's no communication going on between the employees, which means that there's bullshit happening where this person doesn't like this person and that. So the same bullshit is going on. You want to know what the biggest argument was when I was working at Detox? Whether the clients got Netflix. And one day I kind of went off. I'm like, who fucking cares that they're watching Breaking Bad? Oh, it's going to trigger them. Trigger them to do what? Go lay down? You have never detoxed yourself. You have no idea what it feels like, what it is that they are actually going through, and their mindset. You do not know. If they are planning to drink and drug after this, Breaking Bad is not going to be the one that makes the decision. I can guarantee you that. All right. You know what time it is? I always like to stir shit up right before joke time. It's time for Dion's Daily Funnies. Riddles for adults. I'm not awake enough for riddles. No. Although I am big on riddles. So I used to be. I used to be addicted to soap, but now I'm clean. I didn't have I was unprepared. There we go. It'll be delayed, but okay. Yeah, a little late on the laughter there. You think swimming with sharks is expensive? Well, yeah. Well, swimming with sharks cost me an arm and a leg. God, why is that button so small? When two vegans get into an argument, is it still called a beef? I ordered a chicken and egg from Amazon. I'll let you know. Oh, we got to do better jokes than these. One more. Do you want a box for your leftovers? No, but I'll wrestle you for them. There's this one guy that I watch on Instagram a lot. I can't even remember his name. Maybe if I scroll long enough, I'll find him. But he has like some of the darkest jokes, man. They're horrible. They are so funny because they're just so off. Jimmy something, I think, or whatever. They just real dark humor. And yeah, he's very monotone. But I heard him do an interview the other day, and I really like that guy. I like him. He's like, there are some areas you just do not cross, even as a comedian. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm your host today and the foreseeable future. That's right. Nobody canceled me. I ain't big enough to be canceled. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Yeah. Shadow banned, maybe a little. But not canceled. At least not yet. I haven't been controversial enough to be canceled as of yet. Right. Although every now and again Facebook doesn't like me and they do weird shit to my, like the other day I couldn't even comment. It was weird. Did I take it personally? You bet your ass I did. It's Facebook. All right. Hi Michelle, good to see you. Today we're talking about, am I living my recovery program? Or are we just hanging out? What are we doing? Right? Um, there's a lot of confusion out there on, all these different pathways, or even this, just even the detox thing, right? Oh, that's not my job. Well, you got to make sure they're medically cleared. Medically cleared, right? It is a medical detox. It is a 4.3 medical detox. Okay. Now, if it was just a bunch of recovered alcoholics and no clinicians, then yes, but that was their job. So why, and this goes with it. Why is the question? And I'll tell you now, I probably know the answer, because they don't have enough employees. They didn't have anybody to take them to the hospital. I bet that was it. And that caused more frustration and therefore the attitude. But yes, whoever answers that phone, you got to have a good attitude. Leisure said 3 tons of hair was stolen from the wig factory. Police are combing the area. Got your own laugh there, Leisure. I actually did that in time. I was able to move from chat to music and do that. So that's kind of cool. All right. But what am I really doing? Am I getting involved in the program? A lot of people think going to meetings is enough, but attendance isn't the same as recovery. And even when we're attending, and I understand in the beginning you might be a little bit more shy, and that's cool. That's fine too. You're allowed to have that, man. Absolutely. But at some point we have to get over being introverted and we got to start speaking up. We got to lay our claim, man. We've got to speak up. And you're more, I can tell you now, your voice may feel small, but it's powerful. I just watched it, and this was the same lady. I was over at Fourth Dimension. They got a new, it was like a weight was lifted off her shoulders because somebody actually cared, because one person cared. It's what I talk about with homeless a lot. I'm on several committees and we always talk about what homeless need, what people in recovery need. But what we don't do is ask. I ask, what is it that you need? I'm going to tell you my number one answer, the number one answer that I hear. And it doesn't matter how much money they have. Somebody who is willing to listen and understands where I'm coming from. That's what I need. Not a roof over their head, not $5, not another drink, just somebody who's willing to listen and actually gives a fuck. That's where we come in. That is where we come in. You can visit AA for years and still never move in. I see it all the time. How about this? When you ever go to an AA meeting, they're like, I am so grateful. They don't sound very grateful. They sound angry. It's because they're not grateful. They're saying it. I haven't, it's been a while since I've seen that one. Of course, I don't go to many in-person meetings, right? Leisure says Zoom meetings are great for beginners. I would agree. They are also, let's talk on that. That's a great, this is a great spot for that right there. So Zoom meetings are great for beginners. I absolutely 100% agree. But don't let them sit behind that with their camera off forever. Say something to them. Hey, would you like to share? You're not required to. They come on mute. Yeah, I'm kind of here. I'm getting started. And thank you. Awesome. See, right there. What did it take? Took a little bit of hope and courage, right? You got to call them. You can't allow them to sit behind the camera. Okay. So it is good, but as long as we're making progress. But if somebody shows up to a meeting and they want to find a meeting where there's always 100 people and they have their camera off and they sit in the back of the room so that they're unnoticed, because on Zoom you will go unnoticed, then it's not doing them any good. Been a while since I've said this. You cannot get the program through osmosis. It does not work. And there are plenty of people out there trying that. Or there's certain parts of the program that we just don't want to do. I hear it all the time. Maybe we're not quite ready yet. So what are we, or maybe somebody's not ready. So what are we going to do? We're going to plant a seed so they know where to go when they are ready. Okay. I was talking to a guy a couple weeks ago or last week. You guys know me with time. I suck at it. But he's like, I don't think that I'm an alcoholic. And from what I see, I don't know that he is either. I've known this guy for, how long have I known him now? 7 years. Helped me a lot with the podcast and a lot of different things. He's a good kid. He's a good kid. All right. Honestly, I just think that he was going through some shit and he was using alcohol as a way to escape. I mean, it was the first thing he admitted to. Alcoholics don't really do that. They don't just up and admit it. You got to do some digging, right? But that is their option. And I let them know, I'm like, you are still welcome to come to the meetings that I hold. It's a closed meeting, but all you need is a desire to quit drinking. There is nothing in there that says you are required to be an alcoholic to join a closed meeting. Nope. That's not the requirement. The requirement is that you have a desire to stop drinking. We certainly do work with the sober curious. We certainly do deal with the problem drinking and the drinking problems and the alcoholic. We do all of that. My first wife in the room, I'm an alcoholic. We got married. I'm like, she's not an alcoholic. She just did some stupid shit in her youth, got a DUI, went to jail. That was it. That was the one consequence she had in life from drinking. Well, and me being the ex-husband. Yeah, it's a joke. It's just a joke because I'm the consequence. Okay. Angel says Zoom meetings are good because some in-person meetings are dysfunctional, and with Zoom, you can't see the unhealthy interactions before and after the meetings. Yeah, that is partly true. Yeah. I think there's benefits, there's pros and cons to both, and it really depends on who you are. But that's what I love about AA. We don't say, okay, we've got this, we got this, we got that. No, it's we meet them where they're at and then provide them with what they need. We give them first aid. There is no this, that, or the other. It's right now. It's what we're doing right now. Right. So visiting means we show up, but we don't grow up. I'm showing up, but I ain't growing up. You'll see the difference. You will. Right. I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people are just going to disappear. In the last month, a lot of people in my meetings have just disappeared. Right. It's for different reasons. But I wish I could keep track of everybody and keep an eye on everybody. And I wish I could do all that, but that is a lot of work, right? So what are some of the things, right? Number one, everybody needs a guide. An alcoholic needs a guide. And now when I actually got this title, the title said, "Am I living my AA program or just visiting it?" And I changed it to, "Am I living my recovery program?" Because not everybody that listens to me goes. So I kind of want to encompass everything. It doesn't matter if you're going to Celebrate or Smart or Wellbriety, or an alcoholic needs a guide, somebody who has done the work. That is one of the first requirements. An alcoholic needs to be accountable. And we hate it in the beginning. I hated it because I forever, I just did whatever I wanted to. I was unthinking. But then I found out that non-alcoholics, did you know that when they leave the house, they tell people where they're going, what they're doing, and when they'll be back, because it's the respectful thing to do? Did you realize that, alcoholic? Right? So if we want to be like normal people, we got to kind of do what they do, right? If we want to fit into society, then we're going to have to sacrifice some of these silly little things that we do so that we can hold on to what we think is power or control. Okay? The time of people worrying about us needs to end. That is another thing that needs to happen. Okay? Leisure says more than some meetings are dysfunctional, but we always need to remember we get from the meetings what we get from the meetings. Yeah, that's kind of it's your decision on that, right? I got invited to a meeting, and I went, and my bullshit meter was going off, and I'm like, Dion, who cares if your bullshit meter is going off? Shut up, I'm listening. Because what if the bullshit actually had an answer in it? I'm like, you know what, Dion, when you do that, you separate yourself from the group. Yes, that's where my loneliness comes in. So you know what I did? I got the fuck over it. Now, there are some things in meetings I will not tolerate. Right? Flirting, constant flirting. No. Shit talk, drama, these things, gossip. Gossip. Actually, I'll tolerate a little bit of drama. Problems come with drama. So, there's some in there. But name calling, any of that, no. Mm-mm. If it doesn't include progress, I don't want a part of it. I was willing to put up with I was willing at one point to put up with some shenanigans, but I'm 55 and I have a limited amount of time on this earth now, and so yeah, I'm gonna yeah, I'm gonna do what I need to do, right? So we listen, but we don't apply. We share, but we don't change. If I'm sharing the same thing over and over and over again, there's a really good chance I'm not changing. I've gone through that stage, especially in the beginning. Yeah, especially in the beginning, right? And it's going to be weird in the beginning. I'm just going to give a heads up. This doesn't really have to do with this. Well, it all has to do with it. The first the first part of your sobriety, the first, 2, 3 months, everything that comes out of your mouth is incorrect. And it's okay. We want to be incorrect, actually, because we're going to learn more from being wrong and making it right than we are from just being right. If I had the answers and everything, I would have solved my problems a long time ago. But I wasn't able to do that, was I? Now, proof is in the pudding that when Dion takes control and power, I just tend to fuck up my life. I've accepted that. So now I seek guidance a lot. A lot, right? So it's the illusion of recovery without transformation. Right? And I can tell you right now, act, alcoholics are some of the best actors in the world. Drinking or sober, they're the best actors in the world. We've been doing it for so long, it's just a part of our makeup, right? It's part of what we do. It's all the masks that we had to wear. We had to be all these different people, right? Even growing up, even before you started drinking in your nice alcoholic little family, you had to wear different masks in order to appease your parents or your grandparents or the uncles or the aunts or the cousins, or something was going on. Because see, we don't just grow up in regular homes unless you were adopted. You might have been adopted by a great family, still became an alcoholic. Why? Because you're born with it. There was there wasn't there is there wasn't anything there that was going to stop it. Well, maybe God. Maybe maybe if you found God at a very, very young age and really stuck to that, then you might be able to avoid the pitfalls. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer to that one. It's certainly possible. Anything's possible in God's world. I've seen the im- I've seen the impossible happen day after day after day. Right. So what is it? What is it? Why? What? I think more than anything, alcoholics, and I understand why you want the easier, softer way, because this life's been fucking hard, man. My life has not been easy. There were some easier parts, but you know, it's like I was watching this video, and it's hard to describe it. It was like, it was telling you, okay, you could pick floors. One, you go back to, you're at Disney World with all your family. Two, you're with your BFFs, but it was all things in the past. And I'm like, I would pick none of these floors because they all have shit memories. They have triggering memories for me. See, even a video like that, we alcoholics don't get to enjoy. It's this separation in my brain, thinking that I'm different from other people. I'm over here coming up on 10 years of sobriety. I've been around this program a long time. I've been going to therapy a long time, and still to this day, my brain will try and separate me from my friends. Yep. It'll be like, Dion, is that really what's happening? Is that what's going? My brain can get so cynical with me. It can be kind of a dick. Yeah. And then with that, I got to go back to my self-worth. And I got to think of the phone calls I get all day and think of the people that I am helping instead of wondering about the one person that didn't get help because maybe I didn't say the right thing. I don't know. But, you know, I think part of mine had to do, and whether you're introverted or extroverted, alcoholics like being the center of attention, but they only like being the center of attention according to their specific demands, which never work. This is a setup. This is the fallacy of the alcoholic brain. This is the cart before the horse, okay? Where I think I know better. Okay? The thing is I don't think I know better. That isn't what I need to do. That's the brain. Now go to your intuition and make the same statement. It's different. Instead of, but it's going to change a little bit, right? Instead, it's going to be, okay, I could do better, and here's how. There we are. Change. Right? Now, we see all this out here, and we see all this stuff that needs to be changed. Right? That needs to be changed. That needs to be changed. That needs to be changed. Okay. Now, if we can take that and reverse it, if you can smack it down, flip it, and reverse it, I don't even know what song that is. Now work it to do twerk it. I had to throw something in there. So we're gonna flip it. I sang and now I lost my roll. I was on a roll there, man. Roll. Okay, God. I'm gonna tag team out with God here. So all right. All right. What here's the one thing that we need to kind of that we need to avoid. Complacency. Okay. Um, it's a hard one. In fact, let's just look up the word so we can work with it a little bit better here. Definition of complacency: a feeling of smug or uncritical satisfaction with oneself or one's achievements. Look at all the great things I did this week. It's Friday. I'm going to relax. Hmm. You'll be able to get away with that for a day. Maybe. See, all we had, this is all we get. And it doesn't need to be more than this, because the one thing that we do get is very mighty. A daily reprieve. God has given me a reprieve, a daily reprieve every day. This happens. I go to bed a recovered alcoholic, full of love, joy, and hope, and I wake up a hopeless, helpless drunk. And I start over. Right? Look at these huge woo woo back and forth, right? Now it doesn't need to be that big sway. What I'm saying is, when you wake up in the morning, what you have is a daily reprieve contingent upon your spiritual maintenance. What is maintenance? Praying, meditating, service work. Okay. The first answer to any problem for an alcoholic is service work. Get out of self. We talk about it all the time. Get out of self. Get out of self. Because the more you think about you, the worse it's going to get. Okay. But the key here is you need to participate in your recovery. Okay. You need to take part. We call it having skin in the game. Angel says, I still pray and work my steps every day. I also sponsor. I don't need shitty people at meetings. I have my circle of sober friends who I didn't meet at meetings. Okay. All right. So when I stop doing the work, I start losing the results. Okay. And we're going to find different ways to do this. Angel just gave another one. Right. For a long time, I looked for a sponsor. Couldn't find a sponsor. I kept asking. Yeah. Amber says 1-lane closure in Golden Canyon area. Well, it's a really great view down there right now with a lot of really cool colors. So enjoy that. Now you'll have time to look at the trees. Maybe I'm being a little too positive today. All right. Well, I'll help you out, Amber. Fuck that. That's bullshit. So don't just visit recovery. Move on in. Unpack your bags. Get involved. Build something real for you. Build it for you. So, visitors talk about recovery. Livers demonstrate it. Threat is daily action, right? So there's rent due, and rent is kind of due every day, right? Rent is due every day. And what is rent? Daily action paid with honesty, humility, and willingness. So, all right. I think that's going to be it for today. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out.